Hello guys, as Nick have said, I'm Dave Kariuki from Catris Precast Construction. We are at Athiriver, specifically a location called Gimu. Is where we are doing this 3-bedroom with a DSQ mansion.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the size of the house?
A total of 210 square meter.
Let's start by talking about the design work of this house.
Yes.
Did you handle the design for this house as Catris?
No, we didn't. We didn't handle the design fully. Actually, the client came with the design that was already drawn and approved. So when he learned about precast and we start engaging, he brought the drawings. We did the BOQ, and once we looked at the cost, we had to do what we call value engineering for the drawing for the building to fit the budget, because the house was very big.
Okay.
So we had to minimize it for it to fit the budget of the client.
Yeah.
And also to make some few adjustments on the houses we went by.
Okay.
Yes.
So that means reducing the size of the square meters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned about the value engineering.
Yes.
How much was the client's budget before? And then how much has it cost now once you've done the value engineering?
Now we did the client's budget was low, just
Okay.
to be specific, was a bit lower, because when we did the first BOQ, the house was around 295 square meters.
Okay. Okay.
So we had to reduce it for it to fit because he said he has 4.5 million.
Yes.
So we had to fit it at around between 210 to 215 square meters for it to fit the exact budget to build the shell house of this house.
Okay.
And we from the architectural department, we arrived at 210.
Yeah.
And he approved the adjustments.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the cost of the structure is 4.5 million.
4.5 million.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How did you build the foundation for this house?
We did what we call suspended foundation.
Okay.
Athiriver is totally black cotton soil.
Yeah.
They were now the serious black cotton, the bad one, because we are going to around 7 to 8 feet down.
Oh, that is very expensive.
That's very expensive when consider about backfilling.
Yes.
It's
yes.
very expensive. So we opted to do the suspended type of foundation, because at first we did the two calculation, doing the strip type of foundation and also the suspended foundation.
Yeah.
And we saw that suspended foundation was giving a saving of around 600,000 compared to the other one.
Yes.
So the client opted for suspended foundation.
Okay.
So we did for suspended foundation.
Now, when you talk about a suspended foundation, for the people who don't understand what that is, can you describe it in very simple terms? I know you're an engineer.
Yes.
Maybe you can try to break it down for us to understand.
Okay. Now, proper type of suspended type of foundation is when building a Maisonette, there is what we call a structural drawing. On the structural drawing, you have the positioning of all the columns and also the running of the beams. So once you see what you do, you have the positioning of the column. So once you're doing the setting out, you don't set it out the way we set it for strip trenches.
Okay.
We set it out according to the column positioning. And now after we mark the column positions, we do the column pits. After we do the column pits, we cast the blinding, we do the footing for the columns, then we cast the column.
Yes.
To the ground level.
Yeah.
Now, once we reach at the ground level, we cast the ground beam. Now, depending on what type of slab you're using, it will depict when will you cast that beam. Because if you're using flat beam, you'll have to place the flat beam first before you cast the beam.
Yes.
If you're using the T-beams, you'll have to cast the beam, then give it the time for curing, then place your T-beams.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, for this project, what technology did you decide on for the suspended foundation?
We used flat beams.
Okay.
We used flat beam for this type of foundation because after we raised it a bit from the ground, we did the formwork. It's a little bit different. The only caution that you have, the formwork that you put on the ground beam beneath, you'll have to leave them there.
Okay.
You can't remove them.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so once
So it's like they are buried forever.
they are buried there forever.
Yeah.
Now, once you're done with that, you place your flat beams, you place your steel, then your flat beams. Then after BRC, plumbing and electricals, you do your casting.
Okay.
Just as the way you do the
normal.
Yeah, the for the soffit of ground floor.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, because we are at Athiriver, and you mentioned that here we have the bad type of black cotton soil, and it goes very deep down. Why did you choose to go for flat beams versus T-beams? Is it the cost variation?
Yeah, generally when you look at the cost, if you don't lie, the T-beam and flat beam, you save a little bit on flat beam than on T-beam. So, and once I started, we said we did value engineering. So generally this project was about cost saving.
Okay.
How are we going to save the clients to make them be able to execute this project? As you can see, he had also prepared himself. Alikuwa ameanza kumwaga mawe. The foundation stone, like the ones you do, you mwaga pole pole, the materials. Then when he learned about precast, you know, oh, this is the way to go. And he was very convinced once he visited one of our ongoing projects.
Yeah.
And so the project was about where can we save and still without compromising the structural integrity of the building, and but also save. And you know, these are new technologies, so the know-how,
it's not yet there.
Yeah, it's not yet there, but people, we are getting there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how long did you have to wait for the foundation to cure before you proceeded with the walling?
As I said on the previous video, we did the flat beam. So the props were still intact, beneath,
Yeah.
and all the formwork was intact beneath. So once we did the 75 millimeter casting on for the topping,
yes,
we gave it 2 days for it to settle.
Okay.
After it settled, we started doing the ground floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And for us to do the ground floor, of course, another point I forgot to say, when you're doing the columns on suspended foundation, just as you do on strip, the column rebbers, you need to let them protrude from the foundation around 600 mm, so that you can able to do the overlaps when you're doing the ground floor columns, and also to check the levels of your casting.
Yeah.
The topping. Yeah.
Okay. We are at the back of the house.
Yes.
And we see the gap caused by the suspended foundation.
Yes.
So how do you plan on sealing this gap to ensure a consistent and seamless foundation?
So generally, the foundation stone we've seen, we do like 3 to 4 courses here to seal this space all round.
Yeah.
So that you block the entrance of anything beneath the house.
Now, having used the suspended beam and block technology,
Yes.
for the foundation,
Yes.
what's the percentage cost versus the total construction cost for this house?
It costed exactly between 9 to 11.
9 to 11?
Yeah, between 9 to 11.
Okay. So
yeah, between 9 to 11.
Yeah, that's a significant saving.
Yeah, between 9 to 11.
Yeah, because normally foundations, they range 15 to 20%.
15 to 20, yeah. But as we said, it depends with the area and how you're approaching it.
For the ground beam, you had to raise it to a certain level where flooding won't occur.
1 meter from the ground.
Yeah.
So that you consider from the GL level, you take your levels.
Yeah.
Then we raise it so that even when there is flooding, there is no point water will enter the house.
How many panels did you use? What's the height of the walls?
We used 110 panels and 3 meter.
Okay.
3 meter height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, for the 3 meter height, is it the client's preference or is it something you suggest to the client?
I usually suggest to the client because you know, at some point a 2.5 meter panel and a 3 meter panel, they have different prices.
Yes.
But a 3 meter panel in a house has more advantage than a 2.5 meter panel, even though it's cheaper compared to the 3 meter. So you need to advise the client and tell him the advantages of using the 3 meter, so that you agree to use the 3 meter.
Can you mention a few advantages?
First thing, you'll not feel congested in your house.
Okay.
You know, when you're doing a Maisonette, you have a slab on top.
Yes.
So you'll not feel congested that iko karibu. And we have those people when you're wamebarikiwa, they are blessed with heights.
Yeah.
So when you're having your chandelier there, unaamka,
Yeah.
inagonga
Naigonga.
kichwa.
Yeah.
So you'll not feel congested. That's the first advantage. The second advantage is aeration. The place will be well aired, and also the temperature will be regulated very well.
Did you also handle the steel windows and doors?
Yes, we did. We handled the welding fabrication part. We used these are gauge. We use gauge 16 for the windows and doors.
Okay.
But client's preference design
Yeah.
is what we fabricate
Sawa,
on
sawa.
site.
Okay. Having walked around the house, I see you also used flat beams and blocks
Yes.
for the suspended slab.
Yeah.
Yeah, take us through that.
Generally, I used flat beams there because the loadings it's only live loads and some few dead loads that will be experienced on the first floor.
Yeah.
It's not a terrace.
Yes.
So the weight that will be there in humans and objects of the house. So I consider the flat beam.
Yeah.
Now we use the flat beam for it, and we did the casting just as we did for the suspended foundation.
Yeah.
But for this, we removed the formwork. We didn't leave
Yes,
the
yes,
formwork
of
there.
course.
Yeah, it gave us an advantage of also continuing with the first floor as
Yeah.
we wait for the concrete to cure, or
Okay.
rather to settle.
Okay.
The props were still intact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the surfaces is the same, pouring the 75. Is it 75?
Yeah, 50 to 75.
And then the
Yes.
plumbing and electrical.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you do the plumbing and electrical, you put your BRC, then you do your 75 mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how many panels did you use for the first floor now?
80 panels.
80.
Yes.
Okay.
3 meter.
3 meter as well.
Still, yeah.
This is a pitched roof.
Yes.
And you mentioned that the client came with their design.
Yes.
So initially they wanted pitched roofs.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wanted pitch roof. Generally, mom said he needs to collect a lot of water here because she will do some farming here.
Okay.
So you need to collect a lot of water, and that's why she went for pitch roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some
Under roofs.
yeah, there's some under roofs.
Yeah.
Like where we are standing at the entry
Yeah.
porch.
Yes.
But still part of the design.
Part of the design, we just adjusted on the back side.
Okay.
It was supposed to have an under roof, but we advised the client to introduce a balcony there.
Okay.
Instead of doing an under roof, you will see on the back of the top back side, you will have a big balcony. That will be like a family balcony because in this house we are limited to have a spacious balcony.
Yeah.
So we introduce a big balcony on the back side for just relaxing and space here.
Okay.
Instead of having the under roof.
Sawa, sawa.
Yeah. So those are the one of the adjustments we did.
Yeah.
And also introducing the DSQ.
So we can do just a brief tour.
Yes.
Of the lower rooms.
Okay.
So that you can see what you're talking about.
Okay.
As we enter the house, what's this? What's the first room?
This is the lounge.
Okay.
We just finished our fabrication yesterday. Sorry about the site how it looks.
Yes.
So this is the lounge, and from the lounge it opens to the dining.
Okay. Wow, the dining is very spacious.
Yeah, and
almost as big as the lounge.
Almost. Yeah. We did some few adjustments here.
Yeah.
Supposed to have 2 openings and a wall here, but we said, why should we have a wall here?
Okay.
It will tend to limit this space and feel like you are enclosed.
Yeah.
So we open it up so that you feel it's spacious.
Yes.
And also you'll appreciate the lighting.
Yeah, the big windows.
The big windows. You know, you're supposed to do good lighting for the house.
Yeah.
That even in daytime, you don't need to put the lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this house has big windows.
Yeah. So, and when you open the window, the building will be well aerated, right?
Yes.
Now the dining opens to the kitchen.
Yeah, you can go and see.
Okay.
Wow, this is going to be a massive kitchen.
Yeah. But when you consider to put the tops, it won't be that big, but it will be sufficient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will they do like an island or a U-shaped?
No. Just actually, it's a L-shaped.
L-shaped.
It's a L-shaped. Then we have your cabinets here.
Yes.
Because you know this space you're limited for cabinets.
Okay.
So you'll put your cabinets up here. Actually, it was to be a big kitchen.
Yeah.
But we had to introduce the DSQ.
Yeah.
For the house manager.
Okay.
So those are some of the
changes
we did on site.
Yeah. Let's see the DSQ.
Okay.
So you mean that the kitchen was supposed to extend all the way to the
this
to
room,
the
and
SQ?
it's supposed to have an island.
It would have been a massive kitchen.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. So this is the DSQ
Yeah.
that we introduced,
Okay.
and now the house manager have a place.
She can rest here.
Yeah, or the children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever the clients decide.
Yes.
So.
And then we have the cloak room behind.
Okay.
And the space below the staircase is where we'll use as a pantry. There.
Okay.
Yeah, because we
It also the kitchen opens up to the
staircase. So you know we took the pantry when we were introducing this room. There was a pantry.
Okay.
So we had to introduce a pantry beneath the staircase, just next to the cloakroom.
Sawa.
Yeah.
So at the sitting room we have at the ground floor we have the living room, the dining, the kitchen, this SQ, the cloakroom, and
the guest bedroom.
The guest room.
Yeah.
What do we have at the first floor?
At the first floor we have the master bedroom, which is en suite with walk-in closet. Then we have the other bedroom that is en suite also, and we have the office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa.
At the first floor.
Sawa. And which bedroom or room has the balcony?
Actually, the balcony is connected to the office.
Okay.
But master bedroom have a small balcony that just a small one.
Yeah.
If you've seen it has a small balcony.
Just a private one.
Yeah, private one. But for the others, we will enter through the office to the massive balcony that is
on that side.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that concludes part 1. Thanks for watching to this point, and to the client for giving us the chance to share your building experience. So with that, thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you in part 2.
Thank you, and God bless you.